This is my defense log in Tag Team Arena in Raid Shadow Legends, and it's exactly how I want it to look. I want it to look like this so my attack log can look like this, okay? If Tag Team is difficult for you, you're doing it wrong. It's not the easiest game mode, but I can show you in this video the strategy that in-game and late-game players use to get one-man defenses in Tag Team and easily farm as many Tag Team tokens as they want. But first, click my promo link in the description box below to get legendary nuker Karato as well as hard carry epic support Tagoar free when you register your account using these steps. Here's exactly what you need to do. Step 1, log out of Plarium Play on your PC. This link will also work on your phone, but only if Raid has never been installed on that device at any point. Step 2, click the link in the description and register your account with a brand new email. Step 3, launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Step 4, go to your inbox in-game and Karato will be waiting for you, eager to knock down enemy champions in the early game. As soon as your account hits level 15, epic support champion and reviver Tagoar will be waiting in the exact same location. These champions will turbocharge your account start in Raid, so don't delay. Click the link and register your account now. We're going to go back and pull some soul stones because I've had multiple mortal soul stones trickle into the account since I pulled for the boosted summons, and it's ending in about 13 hours. So I'm going to pull these 8. Make sure I have space because I'm always out. Okay, we got space. Whoops, I always click exit out instead of just going to the tabs on the side. Are weird to me in this because it's totally different than how you pull shards with, you know, this is, I don't know, it's just different. So let's go ahead and pull. Hoping for something from the wish list, always hoping for gold. Okay, I don't mind grumbling about Grumbler. Not gold, not what we're hoping for. Another rare, okay. Let's get that boosted chance kicking in. 6 more. Come on, this one's gonna be gold. That's not gold. That's blue. And it's not even, it's Apothecary's ugly twin brother because he is pretty much useless. More blue, wow. Is this 2 times on? These are low star ratings too. What's with the luck today? 5 and they're all rares on a 2 times boosted? 6, all rares. This is wild right now. 4 star, who cares? It's Doom Screech. 2 more. I'm super surprised it's been all rares. I think it's rigged. Surely it's not going to be 8 rares in a row. You've got to be kidding me. It's broken. What on earth? 2 times. Okay, that's my fault. 2 times chance of 5 and 6 star. But to be fair, we got 1 4. We got no 5 and 6 star. So that's crazy actually to pull 8. I don't know if I've ever pulled 8 rares in a row, but it is what it is. As I mentioned in a previous video, we don't be pulling the Eternal Soul Stones for these events because the 2 times chance does not apply to them. That's why the Awakening boost is not there. So anyway, also I want to go in here real quick, and I have been waiting on this chance to craft with full legendary mats. Good luck last time. Can the luck pull through again? Game, give me a Cat's Gaze. I barely want to wish for something else, right? But Juju is not really a thing. A Cat's Gaze, please. And if it's got to be epic, then the Arethi Coronet. Okay, that's really good. It's not the Cat's Gaze, but damn! That now I have 2. Oh man, that's awesome. That is so good. This is a PvP one. Oh man, I'm super happy about that. Actually, I would definitely, not going back on my wish for the Cat's Gaze, but thank you for a legendary, Raid Gods. And wow, that's a good one because like you can read it obviously on the screen where it has a 25% chance to reflect stun, sleep, fear, like all the nasty stuff, right? All the way up to provoke, petrification, and sheep. I want to put this on 2 people now that I have 2 to try to reflect back to Armand's because I hate him. I hate him. Anyway, that's super dope. All right, so let's go in and talk about tag team. Here's what you got to do, okay? Let's real quick go over how tag team works. So pardon me for being in silver 2, right? This red, I'm not going to get demoted. Trust me. I've used this method quite a few times. In tag team, it's different than classic arena. In classic arena, if you do battles and you accumulate enough of the ranking points, you just automatically, like literally in real time, promote to the next tier. That is not how tag team works. Now, this may be old news to some of you, but in case any of you are not exactly sure, I'm going to just really quickly go over how tag team works in Raid. Basically, you have a week window where you're somewhere in these 3 like increments, right? If you're here, when it resets, doesn't matter how much you're here during the 6 days leading up to 7 days leading up to reset. If you're there, the minute it resets, you'll stay in the same tier. If you're here, you will demote. If you're up in this one, it will be green and you will promote. Okay, so what you want to do is figure out a way, and I'm going to go over this strategy that works pretty much without fail, very effectively, and with minimal maintenance, right? To spend as much time during the first 5 days, maybe 6 if you're very active, getting the easiest battles you can, because you can sit in the red. It doesn't matter. What you need to do is make sure that you can get back. If you're okay with where you are, get back to the middle is super easy. It's really not that difficult. Again, if you're active and maybe you gem 1 or 2 refills to on the last day, you can get from the red up into the green. Okay. But it's obviously more demanding if you try to put it off to the last day. So I would suggest giving yourself 2, maybe 3 days, but it's more effective as a farming strategy if you don't make it 3 days, because that's almost half the week. So let's say 2 days, right? 2 days, if you're really active and aggressive on the last day, you can do it in 1 day. What you want to do is, when it resets and you get your placement points, which will be like here, right? Boom, you get your 1435 gold if you're in the same tier as me. And I will be back in gold soon, trust me. I got bumped back down whenever I took my break and my account was just dormant. But what you want to do is go to your defense and do this, okay? For me, I just leave in the leader of my teams because I feel like that I'm going to forget my teams. I have so much going on in real life and so much going on in raid. I just take out the 3 back players, and then these remind me, this is my Cupidus Venus team. This is my tanky, healing, Mortu Macabre and Krisk, I think, team with another nuke or 2 like He-Man maybe, I think. And then this is my reset team with Mithrala and a Duchess and blah, blah, blah. So I just leave my leader in there. They really can probably have a pretty easy time killing her. I mean, Duchess is tanky, but she's got no help here. Like, she's not going to be that hard to kill. He's going to be very easy to kill without his team, and Kaimar's squishy. So that's what I leave. I don't ever leave troll teams here, like, Stone Skin Death Knights that slow people down. That to me, that's just dumb. Like, the whole point of this strategy is actually to cooperate with other raid players and give each other this cooperative boost toward being able to farm gold from the Bazaar, because you don't like it. The currency is way inferior to Classic Arena. In Classic Arena, you're getting whatever they're called, like the mats that help you upgrade your affinity bonuses in the Great Hall. All this does is give you, not gonna lie, there's a couple rewards in here that are worth getting, but mostly bullshit in the Bazaar. Okay, Epic Skill Tome, worth it, but way overpriced. So only if you have a lot of gold. This I usually buy, and it has a long cooldown. Is it like a 2-week cooldown? Maybe, I don't think it's a month. This has a week-long cooldown for a single ancient. What is that ratio? Like, a single ancient, I'm gonna get it because it's there, but as soon as I'm in gold, I'm gonna be spending my money up here. Like, it just doesn't, that's so bad. And it's so bad to me that 1200 is not that bad at all. The fact that it's on such a long cooldown is absurd. The silver's not worth, it's 50,000 silver. That's just not even worth anything. That's not worth anything. That's just so little, so you can't do anything with that. Maybe if you have a bunch of rares and you're an earlier game player, you're probably only in bronze, and this might be a decent use of 1,000 to get skill tomes, but obviously for where I'm at, not so much. I don't really buy rank 3 chickens. I would rather buy the rank 4 up here, but they're pretty expensive. So right now I'm kind of just buying the void and then mostly saving for gold, and then occasionally buying I'd be more likely to buy the energy than the ancient, but I don't buy them religiously. Like I usually buy the void when it's available. Sometimes I buy these accessories, and I'm waiting to get back into gold so I can grab the accessories and occasionally the sacred. It's just, that's a lot of points for the sacred too. I'm not gonna lie, like 30,000 is a ton. It's a sacred, so it's probably worth it, but it's one of those where you got to grind for a while to get to that. So if you're saving for the sacred, that might be the only thing you're buying consistently in the Bazaar. But anyway, that's the points that you get. The points, if you will, is this gold up here, like the, let's see, the battle log, no, the battle. Okay, so like if we, right here, 29, 29, 29 for beating these 3 teams, you get 29 per. So you don't lose any. These are your points, like your tag team arena points right here, that adjust where you are on this bar. But the rewards that you get, like those points are only placement points. They don't give you any materials or anything like that. They only set you up to get once a week this very mediocre reward, right? It's just like the rewards of tag team are not that good. But what is good is being in gold to farm CVC points. That's very good. And then being in gold so that you have access to at least the best version of the Bazaar rewards here is also very good. So there is a point, if you're going to play in tag team at all, to try to get into gold. So what you want to do the whole rest of the week, when you can't affect your placement, is farm easy battles and just get the gold. Like, why would you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just an easy way for you to get this resource. Even though it's mediocre and has mediocre rewards, it's something, and it's a good practice, like I said, to at least get to gold and stay there. So you do have to be active in tag team. You can't just abandon it and then go back during CVC and hope you're in gold. That's not going to be how that works. So the main reason, in my opinion, is to be in gold for CVC, or as high as you can be. Maybe you can't make it to gold, that's fine. And then during the week, I'm trying to maintain my placement, so I'm like, I may as well do the battles. I also get, if you do, 5 tag teams, then you get extra faction wars keys. That's a huge one. Like, you for sure want to be getting those extra faction wars keys by doing at least 5 tag team arena a day. So here's a strategy. When reset happens, immediately drop every team on defense to a 1-man defense, okay? Then you got to give it some time. If you were to refresh right away, nobody's attacked you, right? If you do this minute by minute, you got to give some time for people to attack you. And once they've attacked you, then you'll end up with a page that looks something like this. Sometimes at the very beginning, if you wait a while, like let's say you set it to one-man defenses and don't come back for like 12 plus hours, it'll be all one-man teams. I've done a few battles today, so it's starting to trickle in some, lower power teams or whatever. Lower power for me. Anything under 1 million feels like low power now, but I'm going to refresh. There's a chance that it gives me more or less one-man teams. Let's see. So it gave me more. Maybe the same. They're all at the bottom. But you see, it gave me a bunch of one-man teams, so they're going to be very easy to farm, and then a few teams. I'm not saying these teams are unbeatable for me, but I just skip them. There's no point. There's 3 days left in reset. The only thing you need to know to do is when you get to, I would say, so reset happens on, is it Sunday? It's Sunday, right? Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm just confirming this. Yeah, so reset should happen sometime, for my time zone at least, on Sunday. So you could go all the way, if you have time to do keys, or not keys, I always want to call the arena things keys. Use your tokens, then you could go all the way, I would say, to probably Saturday. If you want to really be safe, then here at about the middle mark is where you can start to put in your defenses if you just passively attack and tag team, and you will stop dropping into the red because less people will either beat all 3 of your defenses or less people will even attack you if you have decently strong looking defenses. But I would say, again, if you're trying to aggressively get the gold and you do want to promote or stay the same, but you're trying to leave the one-man defenses out so that you can get one-man defenses to attack as long as possible, wait all the way until Friday or Saturday, right? Like 1 or 2 days before the reset. And then if you do that, you got to make sure you're busting out all your tag team and maybe even gymming a couple refills on the day of reset, so that, and make sure your defenses are in too, right? Like definitely put your defenses in at minimum like 1 day before, if not 2 days before, because you'll still get a few one-man teams to attack here and there until you start to get into like the yellow, which is where what the color will change to when you're in the middle here. And then you might have to kind of grind and like select your teams and deal with some longer battles to get up here. But for the majority, at least half the week, if not up to 5 days, you get this, right? Where you just go in here, click, it doesn't freaking matter. It's 3 cold hearts. I don't even have to think about, are they fast? Are they going to stall? Nothing. Just boom. Get in there, let it run, and they're dead. 1 shot, right? Now, sometimes somebody will put, like I said, a troll, Mortu Macabre, Stone Skin, and whatever, or a really fast champion like Armand's that can actually do things to turn cycle your team if he's fast enough to go first. Those ones, I would just look at it real quick. Like if I see an Armand's team and then like Death Knight, I don't like you. Let's see, the boy Jake, we don't like you. Like there's no point, even if he's your leader, remove him. Like the whole point of this strategy, this guy's, he's trolling, right? He's putting people that might actually win. So he's trying to double dip. I don't agree with that. He can do what he wants. There's no restriction to that preference in raid, but I just feel like that, like either do what I did and let it be your leaders if your leaders are fairly easy to beat, but don't like try to get one-man defenses on your page to attack while trying to also get wins with one-man defenses, because you put in probably a Stone Skin Death Knight, probably maybe a Stone Skin or fast Mikage, and then Taurus. Like, come on. But anyway, if you have like, there's not any Armands on this page, but let's just say that Lady Noelle was Armands, then I would go in, if it'll click. If this is Armands, then I move my speed team there for the best chance to beat him, because this team has a cleanse, but because he can remove buffs, like the cleanse doesn't mean that, the cleanse means that if he stuns Ninja, for example, which is the most likely person to stun, also she doesn't really have resist, but if he stuns Ninja, Mithrala can cleanse that, but then he has another skill that does sheep and a strip. So even if he doesn't sheep Ninja, which is, he could, but I think usually on auto he will sheep the leader, then the cleanse doesn't save all the people from then getting their buff stripped again, right? And their turn meter decreased. So it's just annoying to bring slow teams against Armands, especially because I find that usually if somebody puts a one-man defense up and it's Armands, he's pretty quick and he's got high accuracy. So I just put my speed team against them. You could do the same thing like with Death Knight. If you have somebody that ignores Stone Skin, or you have like an affinity matchup for me, like Green Nuker, that every time he gets hit, he's going to counterattack. That might just speed things up. I also probably could put this team against it because I have double buff strip, and then there's a chance that Kymar sleeps Ultimate Death Knight, and then even though the affinity matchup's not good, He-Man has a few, really all his skills are very hard hitting, so it shouldn't be a big deal. The Armands I would watch out for more, and champions like him, where they might be faster than your team that you put against him, and then he just turn cycles and either majorly delays you, or actually he might, with all of his freaking ridiculous bag of tricks, he might actually win, or like I said, just drag it out really long and then tickle your champions to death. Just put your fastest team. Whatever your strategy is for dealing with Armands, if you see him in one man, don't get trolled. Address it the best way you can, you know, with your teams. But basically that's it. And then what happens is you farm this. One thing I will say is it's possible that you farm so many quickly that you end up getting back toward, you know, while you still have one-man defenses up, you end up getting back toward full team pages, right? So full pages of full teams are like maybe 1 or 2 one-man defenses and then a bunch of full teams. If that happens, you can like pick on the ones that have lower power like this. I know power is not the end all of, you know, if the teams are good, but usually I will like, if there's a 1.3, I'm just going to ignore it. Not even going to really evaluate it unless I really need to do that because I don't have a refresh or whatever. I'll look for these like 800K teams, and that's just me. For you, it might be higher or lower scores, whatever is like low for you. But what you can also do, instead of picking on these kinds of teams and actually fighting a full battle, which at minimum is going to take you a lot longer, even if you get 3 victories than fighting one-man teams, is you can just wait. Like if you have to set a timer because you're really busy in real life, then that's fine. Or you can just wait and go do something else in raid and come back. And if you give it like a few hours, you'll probably have sustained some losses on defense, and then you can do your free refresh and the page will very likely have more one-man defenses. That's just how it works. Okay, so it's a very, very reliable way, as long as you are aware of that one fact that if you do too many tokens in a row, you could end up getting back to pages with a lot more full teams. But that's the way that you deal with it, right? Is you just take a break, come back. If you do those things, you'll end up having an attack log that looks like this. Like you can literally exclusively attack one-man defenses, use all of your free refills tokens, and even gem some, and use those on one-man defenses too. All you got to do is be willing to leave if the page gets full of full teams, or, you know, really that's it, right? Like you're not going to be able to use 30 plus tokens in a row without getting into full teams again. But all you got to do is do a burst when you start seeing full teams, leave, come back, rinse and repeat, right? That's the strategy. And then you want to make sure that by, I would say Saturday at the latest, but it's much safer to say Thursday, right? So I'm not always able to be in here as aggressively as I would like to. So for me, I'm probably going to do it tonight. Like after reset this evening, I'm going to try to do all of my tag team tokens for that day, including the extra 10 that you get. What is it in the advanced? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, Faction Wars. So I'll do my 5 tag team to get the Faction Wars keys, and then once I have all 18 Faction Wars keys per faction that's open, I'll do all my Faction Wars and get this free refill. So I'll have 2 refills. I don't think I'll gem, whatever, right? It doesn't matter. It's 15 gems. But I'll do all my tag team at some point within a few hours of reset, and then I'll go ahead and put in my defenses. That's what I would say the safe thing to do is basically do it on Thursday late. Again, take into account my time zone, but you know, for me, sometime around like 9 p.m. to midnight on Thursday, you know, US Eastern Coast time. But you could decide, right? Like you can definitely do it on Friday. You might be able to do it on Saturday, but you're getting to the point on Saturday where you may have to gem a bunch of tokens if you don't do well once you get back into full teams to make sure you promote, okay? But like I said, maybe you use this strategy, you're already in gold or you're okay with where you are, and you just use this strategy to drop down into red, farm a bunch of one-mans, and then just stay where you are. That's much easier. But if you want to promote, make sure you don't wait too late to put in your full defenses again, because you're not going to be able to get there in time for the reset. And once it resets, wherever you're at, the minute it resets, that's where you're going to go. So if you're in the red, you're going to go down. If you're in the yellow, which is in the middle, you'll stay. And if you're in the green, you'll promote. But that's it, guys. Hopefully that strategy is helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to use it, if you already knew about it, or what improvements you get from implementing the strategy. Happy raiding, guys.